Let's talk some toys in here.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Today it's the Man Child. Okay, so today for review, we're going to take a look at the new Master Universe Origins VYPOR, sinister embodiment of Viper Tower. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I was waiting for VYPOR to finally come out for a while. He was announced last year sometime, along with Reptilax, Terror, and Lord Grasp, which all his figures are out now or coming out. He was one of the last ones, and I gotta say, he's probably one of the cooler looking Snakemen out of all four of those. And I thought all four together were pretty cool looking. But he's the last one in the line. Here he is. Yeah, I gotta say, I was curious why he had anything to do or look like the Viper Tower, right? So pretty much he shares, looks like the same, I want to say head and neck, the upper part of the armor, at least the collar part, the same chains and colors as the Viper Tower on the Eternity playset. And now here's a quick look at the art and back of VYPOR's packaging. Awesome art as always. So let's see if you okay. We have this is Eldor over here. They have him chained up. They teased Eldor a couple times. Surprised they didn't show him at San Diego Comic Con for the Origins. The Classics made one, and I think Super 7 and their Vintage line made one. So obviously we have VYPOR right in the middle, looking really cool. Notice some newer concept Snakemen or reptilian figures in the background here. There's three of them. I want to say they're called Camor. Thought I seen them in some kind of Snakemen concept one time and online. I think that's what they're called, Camor. You have like chameleon heads and looks like tongue lasher bodies or something like that. This guy's holding a ray gun. Looks like the same gun as Mosquitor has. And then moving up, we see Lady Slither in the back of her, I guess her throne, or this might be that snake layer thing that Mattel announced, showed at San Diego Comic Con, which looked awesome. But yeah, it was a little too big. I didn't think I was going for that. And I hear they're going to redesign or go back to the drawing board. Okay, so before we take a look at VYPOR and all his accessories, he comes with a new comic. It's actually the same comic all the newer Snakemen come with. So Lord Grasp, Terror, right, Reptiliax, Viper, they all came with the same comic. Anyway, it's called Leviathan's War. So I'm just going to open it up, and if you want to pause and read it, you can. And I've showed this in my other reviews with, figures like Terror and Lord Grasp, but if you're not familiar, I'm just going to do one of these and just check it out real quick. Try to pause and read it if you want. Yeah, it was a pretty cool comic. See everything going on. VYPOR, obviously. Lord Grasp. Next page. Snake Armor Skeletor is a medallion there. Reptilax. It's one of the snake ships blown up. Yes, check that out. It's a pretty cool shot with Snake Armor Skeletor, Snake Mountain. The other figures in the background there. Say VYPOR, Lord Grasp, and Terror. There's a collector ship which came out a while back, right, for Origins. That's it. So moving forward, here's a quick look around with VYPOR and all his accessories out of package. He only gets really one weapon and, of course, his armor. Taking a closer look at VYPOR's head sculpt. Look at that. Really awesome. Yeah, totally new head, obviously. And it's really the best part that stands out in his figure, aside the armor and chains and stuff like that. Yeah, look at all the teeth in there. Wow. It's now, this jaw is fully articulated, go all the way up and close. It is, I mean, it only goes so far because the lower and upper teeth hit each other. But it can open, see how wide it can open. So it can open about that all the way down to the collar with the head up like that. As far as the articulation with the mouth all the way down or open. So you can look down, but of course, I said, it's going to hit the armor. You can go back about that far, and then the neck hits this part of the armor. And the neck piece, so this does articulate, right? So this upper part of the head can spin on a neck piece, and that can articulate a little bit, but not much. It can go down all the way, somewhat, and yeah, as far as it's going to go. But yeah, pretty cool eyes. So painted way, just sculpting, of course. So all the scales on the overall head and the neck piece. Looking at that side, yeah, obviously all the teeth are painted white, the tongue, all that good stuff. Now, as far as the neck, all right, so there's the neck. Okay, so the neck spins all the way around as well. You spin the whole head around inside the collar, the armor. You turn it this way, spin it, yeah, like left to right. So you can do some wacky positions, whatnot, as far as the articulation neck. I thought I thought maybe the neck would be a little bit taller, going back to that Turnian Viper Tower, which I will bring him over to my set in a little while and show you compare it to that one. But yeah, I guess that's as long as the neck piece is. Side that's pretty cool. Just look at the back, little scales and stuff, right? Again, you can see how the articulation moves. And so with the armor on, I just want to take the head off the body for a second. And once again, here's a little closer look with the head off the body, and you can just get a better example how long the neck piece is. That's about it. Again, I thought it'd be a little bit longer, but that's what it is. So we know this spins, or we already talked about the jaw, how it closes, opens, and whatnot. And then if you let me separate this neck piece. So okay, so it's a standard origins peg in there as well, and there's the inside of socket with the head. So once again, with the head back on, let's check out the armor. We'll do all the articulation, and we'll start breaking everything apart, at least the armor piece. So moving down, yep, obviously this is the armor. Has that neck collar with these hooks. Again, it's very similar to that Eternity playset, the Viper Tower, which again I'll show in a little while. But obviously then this armor piece is its own made up armor, I guess, for this figure. Pretty cool. Gotta say, cool design. Now, what's interesting too is they're using the same exact steel, and these are steel, by the way, metal or steel chains. That's also on a Viper Tower and the Eternity playset. That's pretty cool. And you notice that, let me see, does these come off? Oh yeah, so see that? The chain can unhook from the hooks on the upper collar, and there's even hooks on the lower part of the armor, and they go all the way up the back. See that? You can remove that chain like that if you wanted to, and then do the same with the other side. And here's a look with both chains off the body, and they measure, let's see, so they're 4 inches apiece. So once again, taking a look at VYPOR's armor. I'm going to leave the chains off for now, as they don't hinder anything. Just to finish the articulation with this and remove it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You got, almost looks like it could be a battle armor plating, but it's not. We have the sculpted, painted Snakemen symbol, obviously, on the front. We talked about these hooks, and these are pretty soft, by the way. It's a very rubbery piece of armor. We can see these two lower ones. All right, we'll spin them around like this, and this is where it's going to come off. You can see the latches on both the left and right side. Here's a look at the back of the armor, and again, here's the back hooks. They're soft as well, right? We already talked about these. So, yeah, let's finish the articulation up. So moving on to his arms with the armor on. Again, the chains don't hinder anything. So he has some new arms as far as the upper part of the bicep arm. Check that out. So it has some fins that are sculpted, some bumps, and even has snakes. Here, you can see a snake coming out of the bicep, and both arms are exactly the same as far as left and right side, where the bicep goes into the shoulder. So that's pretty cool. So a unique arm. And then moving down, he has some new gauntlets that are the part of the sculpt, painted, obviously gold to match the armor. And both, you have same ones on both left and right side. And then VYPOR comes with two semi-open or closed hands, which can spin, right? If hinge joints that go in and out, so it's pretty cool. Whole weapons. And then as far as the articulation with the arm, right side, right, and go up, down, forward, back, bend up at the elbow, go all the way to the face, straighten the elbow out, spin at the elbow. We were talking about the hands, and the other arm is all the same. So, the side with the new sculpt in the armor, it doesn't hinder anything as far as articulation with the arms. So moving down to the waist area, of course, he spins at the waist like all the origins come apart at the waist. He comes with a new belt here. You can see that. I don't think I've seen this in any of the Snakemen figures yet. So that's pretty cool. Have some like scaling, protective pad, almost like chainmail or something like that, but yeah, just some type of protective pad in the front. Cool new belt. See a newer symbol in there. It's painted. It's all part of the sculpt. And then if you turn him around, he has another piece of this protective cloth or chainmail stuff on the back. And to, again, remove this, you're going to pull the waist apart and just pop it off like so. And here's a quick look at the belt and these protector pieces off the body. Right, you can see how flexible they are. And taking a look at VYPOR once again without this belt protector on. So he just has a typical origin style belt and loincloth. We know he spins at the waist, comes apart at the waist. So as far as the legs, they're just using like the buzz off or the whiplash style legs. In here you can see these bumps, right? And as far as articulation, right, go all the way out with a split, kick forward, go back, bend at the knee, spin at the knee. It just doesn't hinder anything, so I'm just going to leave it off at the moment. And then moving down, he has some type of newer shin or half boots, shin guards, right? And I don't know if they've been used before. They might have been, but anyway, just, purple, obviously. And they can spin. You could pop them off if you wanted to, right? Put boots on them if you'd like these, the setup with the feet. Both sides are exactly the same. And then moving down as far as the feet, he just has the clawful whiplash feet, buzz-off feet again. And they could just, as far as articulation, go up and down, rock side to side. Again, both sides are exactly the same. So once again, moving back up to the armor, let's remove it off the body. And as I already mentioned earlier, there's 2 tabs here. So it looks like it's going to pop this side and a side like that. And then it looks like we got to remove that neck piece. And then the armor should pull right over the body like so. And here's a quick look at that armor off the body. All right, so it's really soft piece. You can see how flexible it is. We talked about these hooks for the chains, right? Snake, where it clips. There's the neck collar. It's all. At first I thought this was an individual piece that come off, but I don't think it is. Is it? Oh yeah, look at that. It is, but it's glued on. Wow, it is a separate piece, just like that Viper tower on that Eternia. But you could remove it if you wanted to, but it's not meant to come off, because you see I'm breaking glue mine. There is little pegs. And it's something. All right, I'm going to push it, leave it back on. It's meant to be, but it does come off. Interesting. And now here's an overall look at VYPOR with all the accessories removed off the body, at least the armor and that lower belt guard protector. So yeah, just typical He-Man style body, nothing new. We already talked about the arms, and yeah, it doesn't come out, by the way, just typical pegs, nothing new, customs. There's a better look at the piece on the arms, and the forearms look new. They're the same aside this newer bracer. Here's the neck, so here's how it would rotate off the body, and then go all the way down, up, spin all around. Right, we already talked about the articulation of the waist, and we're all familiar with the buzz-off legs. These new ankle bracers, guards, and then the feet. So moving forward with VYPOR's accessories, that's all he comes with. It's just some kind of staff. Has the same type of orb as the Origins Evil Lyn staff, or same head really. But the handle's pretty cool. It's like a couple bones, like an arm. It looks like an arm or something. Once again, here's a look at VYPOR, all set back up with his armor, whatever pieces I took off, the chains and whatnot, and that arm bone magical staff in hand. Moving forward once again, I just want to do a quick group shot or comparison with all 4 of these newer Snakemen figures together, right? So we have VYPOR, here's Terror, we have Reptilax, and of course Lord Grasp. Alright, so once again we transported over to Eternia. Yes, my setup, and this is obviously the Viper Tower, right? I wanted to bring the figure over for a comparison, as I said I would in the beginning of the video. So you can kind of see, right, there's a quick look at VYPOR against the Viper Tower as far as the head sculpt. I mean, it looks almost identical. Pretty cool. They did a good job. But see how long the neck is on this Viper Tower compared to, the figure? Wish it would have been a little bit longer. That would have been pretty cool. And then moving down, you can see the chains and that neck collar. So I just want to confirm. Yep, same exact chains and everything as far as material, steel. Now I set up VYPOR on the track next to the Viper Tower to get a better look at him and just the proportion or the overall size of the tower itself. And yeah, this is, I guess, my Eternia, how I have it set up. I might have showed it once before. I'll do a tour one day and everything. I have a lot of cartoon figures set up down there. You can see that, odds and ends. There's the figures on the top. And yeah, even has some vintage stuff mixed in. There's my collector. Actually, I built a base to raise it. I got some more figures in there. But the overall setup. So once again, we teleported back to the filming table. And obviously, you can see we have VYPOR next to Rattler. So there's going to be a little bit of parts mixing fun. So I'm just trying to stick with Snakemen and something close to colors. So it seems like Rattler's colors are very close to VYPOR's colors, but some areas are more shiny, like the body and stuff like that. Maybe the head. Beside that, I don't know. Let's try to mix some parts with these two and see what we can do. Okay, so the first thing I did is just throw the Rattler extended neck with Rattler's head on the VYPOR body, and just leave the armor and chains on. Just a quick look at that setup, and that looks pretty cool. Again, the head matches something close to the arm, a little bit more shinier, and articulates really well. It looks neat coming up through the collar of this particular arm on his body. So once again, with the VYPOR body and his armor on, I just put the VYPOR head with the Rattler neck extension. That looks really cool. Now, obviously, I took the lower extension part off of this head because it didn't look good on this, I didn't think, on the yellow extension. But anyway, check that out. So now you have that extra extension, can articulate all around, the head can spin, mouth can open, of course. Pretty cool. And now I just decided to put that extra extension piece on the VYPOR head with that neck extension from Rattler, if you like that look. And I guess a little more look at it, doesn't look bad. This would protrude up, and this is a different, like, membrane piece for the neck, right? Yeah, very similar to, okay, it's basically what Rattler is, just the head instead of extension. But if you like that, to look like, and now you have extra articulation besides this piece. Of course, this can spin. We know the head can go up and down, move all around. So for next setup, I just put the Rattler head with the VYPOR neck extension on this body through the collar. That looks pretty cool. With Rattler, he's not looking up so far. It makes him look down and forward instead of up in the air, right? But you don't have a lot of articulation. You can spin, obviously, this way, and then the neck can move all around inside that collar. You see my collar's coming apart. It's got to be glued. It's a separate piece, but it's meant to be glued on. Anyway, quick look at that setup. That looks pretty cool. And now, of course, with the same setup, I just put the Rattler neck extension on, yeah, the extension piece for VYPOR and with the Rattler head on. And now, of course, jumping back to the Rattler body, I just put the Rattler neck extension on, of course, with the Rattler head, but I put that VYPOR neck piece in between, so just a quick look at that setup. And my Rattler, too, if you notice, this is armor from the 2000X Rattler that worked really good on him, because in the 2000X show, General Rattler had this armor on. Even the lower piece fit as well. Okay, so I just removed the Rattler head with this neck extension piece and just put the VYPOR head on the Rattler extension on his body. Just a quick look at that setup. And now here's a look with the VYPOR head and his normal neck extension on just the Rattler body with my armor set up. And then once again, I just put the Rattler head on this small VYPOR neck extension piece. Obviously, I removed the VYPOR head on Rattler's body. Just a quick look at that setup. And that also looks pretty cool, because Rattler a little different look. If you didn't want the short head on the body or this yellow neck extension. So once again, jumping ahead, obviously I removed this extra armor off Rattler, and this lower piece came off that 2000X figure. Now you can see that I did put the VYPOR belt guard on Rattler, so it does work, because Rattler has his own piece with like pegs that comes off. You could pop it off the waist. Then the other question is, with this large body, will this armor work off of VYPOR? I don't think it's gonna. You can get it down over the shoulders, like so. See that? You got that collar and neck piece, but yeah, way too wide. You can't get these pieces to clip, and with this tail, because of this tail piece, and even if this wasn't on it, the body's just way too wide. Okay, the next thing I want to try was putting VYPOR's lower legs, or body half, on Rattler's body. And again, it's yeah, it can work, I guess. The reds aren't too bad. A little shiny up in certain parts I already mentioned, but it looks cool. And just left that neck extension on with Rattler's head. And I did that because I think that just beefs Rattler up even more. It's funny, these legs, they're so stubby. Like, look how short they are compared to a normal, regular part of Origins legs. It's, going back to the vintage figure, he always was really tall in the body like this. And to be fair, the legs were short too. But it's like they were afraid to give him normal legs, because God forbid you made the figure taller than a 5.5, 6 inches. But anyway, looks pretty cool. And of course, I put this belt piece on. And then once again with the same setup, I just put the Rattler neck extension on. Of course, the VYPOR head and his curved piece of neck on that extension. Quick look at that setup. Man, look how tall that figure is now. That's awesome. And then lastly, I just drew the Rattler head back on with this whole setup. So yeah, we have a whole different Rattler because of these legs, which again, the colors match pretty close as far as the arms and stuff and the tail. Makes them a lot taller. Yeah, I just left the armor off for now because a lot of people don't have this. But if you did, it looks cool on it. Yeah, neck extension, this extra piece, in the Rattler head. And we already know what it looks like with the VYPOR head on. Okay, and that about does it. That's my overall review for the new Master Universe Origins VYPOR figure. I gotta say, it's one of the coolest looking Snakemen figure in that Snakemen faction line or series. They really did a great job on him. That head and neck, that looks like the VYPOR Tower. It looks just like it from at least what I compared, but I can say it's close. I love this articulated jaw. Yeah, the overall sculpt design. I kind of wish it was a little bit longer, going back to that tower, or they had another extension piece. And if you were to get two of these, I don't think, if you were to use both neck pieces, you can, but it's going to look weird, and you're still going to have this curve. So you're not going to get like that straight look and then a neck up, the way the tower looks, something like that anyway. It does what it has to do, I guess. This armor piece is really cool. I like that neck collar. Now, it's obviously a separate piece. I did put a little glue on mine off camera to fix it, because it does come apart, but it's not supposed to. It's all pegged in there, so glue helped it, because it was annoying. Every time I messed around, it would fall off. I like the idea of these chains. Again, they're the same chains they're using on that tourney of VYPOR Tower. Pretty cool. And you can crisscross them and stuff like that. I'm just going to leave them the way they came. yeah, it's neat that you can mix some parts around with Rattler a little bit, just because of the colors are close, and just again, are Snakemen figures. It might be other figures in my collection, but I just want to stick with, yeah, Snakemen figure. What you can really do is pretty much heads and neck part swaps between bodies, like I showed. This armor doesn't fit on that body, and or you can use the legs on Rattler and make them taller, which looks better. And the colors, they are close to the arms, little flap, but they do work. You can use this belt and things like that. The weapon's neat. I like the arm bone or something like that. But I don't know. They could have did something different. Maybe a bone blade or something instead of a Nevelin staff. Orb again. I mean, it's not the worst thing, but I don't know. Could have did something different with that. Aside that, he really looks cool. And yeah, and I brought him Leatherhead in the background too, to scale up to him, as I just reviewed him last. A lot of people liked him. He came out well. And for a bonus, if you see my Leatherhead video, or you guys have followed the Turtle Grayskull line, check this out. I add a chain to this like I said I would. So Leatherhead, this piece, in the card art in the comic book, he had chain on it, purple chain. And this weapon just came like this. Now, I cut this off with a saw, and originally, I thought it was part of sculpt. It was really weird. It's kind of hard to tell. But when I cut it, it's not. Again, it's like pegged, and they glued it in. I don't know why they would do that, but it was glued in. Very similar to that collar is why I'm bringing that up. So I cut it and just drilled some holes. Got some chain on Amazon. Check that out. Got that purple glowing chain, just like in the card art. Awesome. Anyway, yeah, I thought I'd bring that in for a little bonus. And yeah, size up Leatherhead against VYPOR and all that good stuff. Aside that, I think he came out awesome. He's a must-have to add to your Snakemen line. So, I think the pre-order's up on Big Bad Toy Store now. And, of course, he's floating around eBay. It's where I got mine at. So, once again, I appreciate everybody watching. And until next time, take care.